Let's go! Are you ready to ride? Buckle up, cause I'm gonna be ahead of my time. Put your hands high in the sky. Just know it, keep your dream alive. Keep dreaming, don't stop. Keep dreaming, don't stop.
Welcome everyone to Mugello, a roller coaster of speed and elevation changes. We are already at round 3 of the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup. And if the 4 races taught us anything, is that this championship is more unpredictable than ever. I've seen 3 different winners in just 4 races. Now, as we are at the legendary Mugello circuit, and the big question is, will we see yet another first-time winner? Or can the current frontrunners be at the top of the standings? One thing is certain, the racing has been spectacular. This year is very special as we celebrate the 20th season of the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup. And to mark this occasion, we caught up with Gustav Auinger and Peter Clifford to look back at the incredible journey of the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup and explore what the future holds for the next generation talent.
Because back in the beginning, you know, the top Spanish riders like Marc Marquez, Alex Marquez, and that they didn't come into the Cup because there was another route within Spain. These guys were picked up as soon as they did any success in Spanish Championship or something, and they were given good rides. But that has changed completely now. I mean, hardly anybody thinks of not coming into the Rookies Cup. Everybody wants to come to the Rookies Cup.
For me, I'm very proud of being here, being in the Red Bull Rookies Cup, you know, racing in this level of competition, being in this legendary and historic part of motor racing, I'd say, and see all of the people I look up to, being in MotoGP, and I know that they pass through here. That's very important for me, because I know that if I do everything well, there is a chance of me being like them in the future. The fact that I'm here, I think it gives me a lot of opportunities, and I'm doing my best every day to use these opportunities to be there one day.
And now we're very happy to supply with the very best equipment, the best technical support, the best safety gear, and they get you and Danny, you know, helping them to be better racers. It's incredible, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you think about the first idea about this, to look for some talents, some riders, some highly talented riders. Like it is now, it's fantastic. We have such a fantastic group of young riders.
What do you think the future holds for the Rookies Cup?
The spirit
this is what matters.
We shall never forget.
No.
Take care. Everybody of these rookies shall come back home in a well condition. So take good care about them. So this spirit, we have to keep, I think. And then the decisions are not far away.
How amazing to hear from Gustav, Peter and our riders why the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup is so important, because this is the stepping stone to MotoGP. We caught up with the top 3 qualifiers from the Mugello circuit to find out how was their qualifying, how did they feel, and what's their strategy to win the race.
Yes, I'm very happy for the pole position, my first pole position in the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup. I like very much this track. The lap is a crazy lap with slips, with a slipstream. Part I think the first and second sector lonely. Then I overtake 3-5 riders in the laps. I think it's a very good qualifying.
What is your strategy? How are you planning to be on the top 3?
Planning nothing, just full gas.
And what will you do on the race to get a podium?
I don't know. Don't be first and the last lap straight. And have luck, I think.
The Mugello circuit always provides incredible racing action. So let's see our rookies twisting that throttle on our KTM RC 250R. Let me hand you over to our incredible commentary team of Matt Dunn and Peter Clifford.
Thanks, Dominica. Well, the great news is it's a clear blue sky here, very different to Le Mans a couple of weeks ago. Beautiful day here in the Tuscan Hills, and I'm sure we're in for an absolute stormer, aren't we?
Yeah, we certainly are. It's an absolute scorcher out there. Really, really going to be tough work for our rookies, of course. It's the first time they're on track here today after free practices and qualifying yesterday. Now, the big news coming into this one is a bunch of penalties. Don't we love a bit of that, Peter, eh? Ramadipa, one of the riders with a penalty. Kratokville also has a penalty. Pugliese as well. But before we get into all that, we got Dominica and Brian Uriarte down on the grid.
Brian Uriarte, you are the 2025 Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup champion, and you also hold the all-time lap record at the Mugello circuit. So what's your advice to our current rookies?
Well, for sure this is a racetrack that I know pretty good, so yeah, I have the all lap time record, and with a huge slipstream, which is really important here, so a good advice for the rookies will be that be really clever for the last lap, because here is the most important along the race. So yeah, the most important thing is to enjoy on the bike, and for sure they will do it.
Thank you so much, and all the best of luck racing tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to hear from Brian, and he was incredibly quick round here. Of course, he was absolutely fantastic in last year's Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup, finishing first and second and really dominating, except here in Mugello, where he actually finished 5th and 6th, just because, it's a place where if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, the result can turn into an absolute lottery coming to the line. That is so often the case here, and talking to the guys this morning or at lunch, they all think that it's the same thing, that it's going to be a huge bunch, and goodness knows who's going to win it.
Well, as we did see on in the pre-show when we were just looking at him there, David Gonzalez will be starting and leading the way from pole. He was, of course, our winner last time out in Le Mans, the last race winner that we had after a pretty torrid couple of races before that. Peter, what do we think is going to be happening? Well, I can tell you what's going to be happening in a minute, actually. We're going to be hearing from him down on the grid, because our pole sitter is there with Dominica.
David Gonzalez, you had an up and down season. However, you're looking really strong. Pole position for you today. So, what are your thoughts about both races at the Mugello circuit?
I am happy to the pole position. I'm going to try to push hard the first lap to broken the group. Nothing more. I think fighting the last lap. I going to for win.
All the best of luck. Looking forward to see you at the park for May.
Thank you.
And talking to Beñat Fernandez at lunch, he said it's impossible to break away here. He doesn't believe David or anybody else can do that.
Game on, mate. Game on. Well, there is your second place rider on the grid, Ryota Ogiwara, then, who also got a podium last time out in Le Mans. A real something about here, Japanese riders, Rookies Cup in their first year, doing rather well. Taifu Rosati, you might remember a few years ago, doing substantially excellent. As we look at Guillaume Plonk, an informed rider, buoyed by a great weekend last time out in Barcelona for the Junior GP World Championship. What do you make of his performance this weekend, Peter?
Well, I mean, he's stunning, isn't it? Because he turned things around. He's not been starring, in the first couple of weekends. He hasn't starred in Mugello before, but he's certainly starred here this weekend. That, front row starting position, no lucky thing. He was fastest in FP1, fastest in FP2, and might well have been on pole, but, a big bunch at the end, and it didn't work out for him. But he's certainly got the pace this weekend.
Big shout out to Luca Agostinelli, the half Vietnamese, half Italian rider, in 5th place on the grid. That is an absolutely sterling performance there. Real big shout out to him, and Tibble Varga in 6th as well.
Yeah, an interesting point about Luca Agostinelli. He did FP1, FP2 completely on his own. He didn't want to know about what anybody else was doing. He's about the only person running around on his own, and then he got in the group for qualifying and got the good qualifying position.
Well, I think also rather crucially, our championship leaders, Beñat Fernandez and Fernando Berjosa, start from a joint 10th and 11th on the grid here for today's race. Beñat, I spoke to him yesterday, or no, not yesterday, because it wasn't there yesterday. Today at some point earlier on, a lot's happened, and he's not bothered at all. He says it's going to be a big group. Yep, so I'll stick in that.
Yeah, that's right. And I had a lengthy discussion with him actually, over lunch, and he said yes, it's going to be a big battle. He's sure no one he thinks will be able to break away. He said, you can't make a plan for the last lap. You've just got to keep towards the front of the group and do whatever you can. He said, the tyre performance will drop off. He said that's going to be the same for everybody. There's nothing you can do about that. He says you can't conserve the tyres when you're battling like that at every corner. He said, but that doesn't worry me. He says, I'm really happy with the way the bike feels on used tyres. So that's not going to be a problem for me. I think it will be a problem for some other people. And he thinks that may be the key when it comes to the end of the race.
Well, I mentioned earlier that Kandja Ramadipa and Finn Kratokville have grid penalties. They're down in 16th, 17th. But Giulio Pugliese, the local Italian star, will be starting from the back of the grid here today for his offences in qualifying. However, he did that last year as well in Mugello and said it wasn't too much of a problem starting so far back. He's also an informed rider from the Moto3 Junior World Championship, a second place and a win in Barcelona last weekend. But can we count him out here this weekend, Peter?
No, I mean it's going to be difficult, isn't it, coming right off the back of the grid here? But there's so many overtaking opportunities, and he's a man. He's on form. He was quick in practice, and it's just that penalty. He really should be able to get to the front. Whether he can win it or not is another question. But I think it's going to be very exciting to watch.
Wow, look at this absolutely stunning ribbon of tarmac. Really one of my favourite places on the entire calendar. Nowhere quite like Mugello, that you can't really quite see, but the camber at some of these corners that just really pushes you right into the corner. They carry so much speed all around the circuit, especially in Rookies Cup. This is the Biondetti chicane, just an ultra-fast section right there leading into the final corner.
Now, one of the key things here is the choice of gearing. You've got two possible, gearing choices, and there are positives and negatives about both. You can go for the short gearing, and the bigger guys like Berjosa and Kano, they have to go for the shorter gearing. But then, you're sort of running out of speed if you get a good slipstream down the straight. The really light guys can go for the longer gearing, and people like Ethan Sparks. I mean, Beñat Fernandez said that Ethan Sparks is so tiny, so small. He said, I can't even pass him out of the slipstream down the front straight here.
There you go. Well then, this is the point where tensions really rise. David Gonzalez makes his way to the front to assume his first pole position in Rookies Cup. Ryota Ogiwara starts from second position on the grid. And we have Guillaume Plonk in third. We will be under starters' orders very shortly. Rookies Cup Race 1 in Mugello.
Well, let's see if David Gonzalez can do anything like what he intends to, which is break away. Beñat says he can't. David says he can. So let's see what happens. Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup action at Mugello, and who gets a good start? Guillaume Plonk comes across, but it is the number 11. No, it's in fact, of course, the Japanese ace who takes the advantage. Guillaume Plonk actually moves into second place. Is David even going to be in second or third place going into the first corner at the end of the front straight here?
Absolutely brilliant start by Ogiwara as we see Tibor Varga moving up the inside into slotting into fifth place, I think, coming down of San Donato. Ogiwara completely stood up, not tucked in behind the fairing at all at the start. Such a big push with his right leg, and what a whole shot that was. A man on a mission here is the 97.
And he's never been here, of course, before at all. Completely new, but he's got to grips with this place really quickly.
Well, all safely through turns 1, 2, 3 and 4 pretty much. Plenty of riders out onto the green for that first lap as they were jostling, shuffling for positions, but it's Gonzalez who takes back first position then. Into third, that's Mike Yu. Kiatasak Singapong, the 85, takes it from Guillaume Plonk.
And one of the good things from practice was the whole day there, the 3 sessions, only Yaroslav Karpusha was a faller. So that was completely different to the unfortunate incidents we had in Le Mans, for example.
Just looking in the back of shot, Travis Borg, the number 23, up there battling for the leaders already. 5th place for him. He had a great weekend as well in the Junior GP Series. That's Mike Yu onto the gravel there in the background. Goodness me, a bit of motocross is not what you want at this time in the morning. A shout out though also to 6th position, up from where on the grid? Christian Daniel Jr., the American. Where on earth was he on the grid? Fair way down, 14th and up to 6th. That's a heck of a start, slotting in behind Travis Borg, the number 23.
Right, so now see whether David Gonzalez from the front now can get away from these guys. Of course, this is where he's all so likely to be swamped out of the slipstream.
Right, let's see how these units of riders who are leading the way. Quite tall, Travis Borg, Christian Daniel slotting in behind the other riders. Nobody pushing each other onto the grass at this point, thankfully. Over the Tricolore they come, fanning out. Guillaume Plonk goes for the lead. Will we see the Frenchman leading the Rookies Cup race? Not quite, maybe. Last of the late breakers. It's Mike Yu into the lead.
A superb up from Kietzak Singapong, the Thai rider.
Oh no, it's Guillaume Plonk who does take it in the end. Brilliant. Inside line through turn 1, and he takes it. Go on, Guillaume!
He said he wanted to be on pole. He could have been on pole. He said, but don't worry, I know I'm feeling confident. I've really got this, he said. Is that Guillaume Plonk? But inside comes the number 11, David Gonzalez, to retake the lead. Now he's got to really try it now. He's got to go the hammer down and try and go onto the green stuff already, onto the green stuff.
He's got to watch it.
He's got to go hammer down to try and get far enough away to deny them the slipstream. Is that even possible?
Well, through we come into Arrabbiata 1, then Arrabbiata 2. It's so steep, this part of the circuit. You can't get any impression of it from these camera angles there. Completely flattens it out. But it's such a haul. If you miss a gear or anything like that, hesitate a little bit, you will lose so much time.
And he is inching away, isn't he, David Gonzalez? The 18-year-old Spaniard is inching away at the front. And that we caught a glimpse of the number 7, Beñat Fernandez, the cup leader.
Yeah, Fernando Bajosa, a couple of spots behind him as well now, as he's got Christian Borelli for company in 11th spot, Carlos Cano 12th position. I expect more from Ramadipa at this stage despite that penalty, but no, he's down in 13th now.
And Luca Gastinelli is doing well there. He's up into 8th place.
Into the final corner, Borg moves up into 2nd place then. We're getting very accustomed to seeing this, aren't we, Peter? Travis Borg, the Maltese rider, battling for the podium early on throughout the race. There's a bit of misfortune befell him back in Jerez the first time we saw him at the front, a chain coming off no less. Really, really troublesome that, and then he nearly lost the podium, he lost one of his spots almost for celebrating too early across the line back in Le Mans.
And it's Travis Borg who looks to have the advantage, but it's all on the brakes. Oh, it's tight squeeze.
It's going to be Beñat. It's going to be Beñat up the inside, nearly from David Gonzalez. Beñat Fernandez up from 10th position on the grid into 2nd now. It's game on for the Spaniards.
Yeah, you're looking back from Beñat Fernandez. There's the 77 of Kerman Tines back in the pack, but it's still the number 11 of David Gonzalez leading fellow Spaniard. Beñat Fernandez, sorry, David Gonzalez leaving Beñat Fernandez. Oh, and Beñat goes off on the green stuff. They've got to watch this.
And then they're all going to start complaining afterwards. If so-and-so was on the green, if so-and-so was on the green this many times and things like that. But you've got to watch it, haven't you?
Yeah. Bajosa it is for the fastest lap of the race so far, back in 10th place. He's, as I said, he's one of the bigger guys. That doesn't, that's on the red. That's okay.
It's just slow. That's the issue there.
Yeah.
It's just slow. And look, it's bunched them all up, Peter, as we come down here in, goodness me, it's getting tight there between Mike Yu and Travis Borg. Goodness, we come into Corontayo now.
Yeah, I mean, how many is it? It's like, according to the timing screens, it's 15 people battling for the lead. Yeah, don't deny that. David Gonzalez it is who had the advantage over the cup leader, Beñat Fernandez. Singapong, Borg, Ogiwara, Christian Daniel up to 6th now, ahead of Planks back to 7th.
Yeah, so top 11 basically is this group, even more so I would say, but that is the live championship. That's going to be changing dramatically before the end of the race, I would suppose. Across the line they come then. Your pole sitter, David Gonzalez, leads the way from Beñat Fernandez. 23, Travis Borg alongside Christian Daniel Jr. The American moves up in towards the podium positions, but look at that. Kiatasak Singapong fans out across the Tricolore, exit of pit lane, takes the inside line. He wants to lead, but it's Beñat Fernandez who sweeps around the outside of the B corner where they keep the beehives on the inside of the turn. I know, useless fact, but it's Ryota Ogiwara who punches straight back into second place.
Right, now Beñat Fernandez said it's impossible for anybody to break away, but I think he'll try and give it a go if he can. He leads now on the number 97 of Ryota Ogiwara, the Japanese.
How are we only on lap 4, Peter? This has been too much to look at already. So many things going on. Who's going to go on the green this time? Seemingly, well, a couple of people in the background. I think it was Karpushin who went on it, but none of the leaders. I was going to mention, Peter, when we saw Yaroslav Karpushin in the film, in the pre-show, where's he been for the start of the season, unfortunately?
Yeah, I mean, he, like, you know, Christian Daniel Jr., they came out of last year, really was as favourites to be winning races on the podium at least this year, and it just hasn't really come together for them, as the Japanese Ogiwara takes the lead, the 17-year-old Japanese.
Yeah, just behind him, as you were mentioning him, Christian Daniel moves up the inside of David Gonzalez into 5th place. So he's bringing Bahosa with him, though. Second in the championship, making his way through the pack now steadily. A few laps just sort of settling around the top 10 or so. And now it's time to go for the number 69.
And I remember seeing Christian Daniel, doing, in the front leading group here last year, but he actually ended up with 2 9th places here last year in Mugello. But he's now up to 2nd place, is the number 70. Christian Daniel Jr., the 17-year-old American, is really hunting for the win this time.
And look, they are starting to separate a little bit, but how much will it close back up again as we come down the start and finish straight? This group is enormous, Peter. It's Christian Daniel, though, who will lead across the line that time. Number 7, Beñat Fernandez, a series leader. Just behind him, Mike Yu Singapong, podium finisher so far this year, up the inside there. And someone's up the inside as well. Not sure who it was.
And it is.
It's Luca Agostinelli. Where did he come from?
Yeah, fantastic stuff. He really used the slipstream. And of course, the slipstream compounds themselves. You're following one guy's one bit, but by the time you're following 2 or 3 guys, the advantage is absolutely tremendous. Up the inside goes the number 7 of Beñat Fernandez to take the lead.
Well, this group now is probably all the way back to, goodness me, 21st place, I think, at this point now. They've closed all back up again. Top 21 riders within 2.1 seconds. I mean, that is just insanity, isn't it?
It is. And David Gonzalez was pushed back to 8th. Looking further down, Karpushin is actually back in 15th. Planck, 10th. Yeah.
Another rider I was expecting a bit more from was Carlos Cano. Oh, who's that? It's Agostinelli, nearly saved it. Oh, what a shame that is. Down at turn 10. He tried his very, very best to save it. I thought he would at one point, but no, his efforts have ended up in the gravel.
Tragedy for him. He's totally furious with himself, of course.
Unfortunately, it just became unsettled already. And look how much he tried.
Early, yes, that's right. It folded early on him, didn't it? And he kept it going. Oh, for a long way, propped up on an elbow and a knee.
So close.
Yeah.
That little twitch of the knee, nearly got it back up, but no, unfortunately, he will be livid. Well, we switch back towards the front. Christian Daniel.
Of Christian Daniel, the American, on one side of the track. The whole rest of the pack on the other side of the track.
Marulander is battling him for the lead then. The number 27, the Colombian, takes the lead in this race for the first time. He started a bit further down on the grid than we were expecting.
And Christian Daniel goes deep
19th he was, sorry, Peter, to interrupt. I did want to shout out as well, Jeroen van Kruchten was starting from 9th position on the grid, but unfortunately he's been pushed towards the back of this pack after some great efforts in qualifying.
Yeah, he did. He really made a good show of it in qualifying, and I'm sure he was hoping for a lot more in the race. But as you say, and there's Travis Borg is there as well, the number 23. The Maltese with you can't miss that Maltese cross on the red helmet.
No, he makes that very easy for us, doesn't he? Thank goodness. As we see Christian Daniel leading the way then, up 13 positions from his starting position on the grid then. Really great stuff for him as Borg defends his position for Beñat Fernandez. Cuts across the front there into Arrabbiata 1, but you've got to be careful because, as I said before, it's so steep up there. You sacrifice speed going in, you'll sacrifice speed going out.
And it's where the choice of gearing makes a difference, of course, on that climb, whether you're on the short gearing or the long gearing.
Hey, look at this, Peter. Number 71, Carlos Cano, the Spaniard, up there into 5th position. This is the best we've seen from him in Rookies Cup so far. I was going to mention earlier, in some ways, it's been a bit of a disappointment for me so far this year.
Well, apart from his qualifying in Jerez, wasn't he? Where he was,
exactly.
You know, and it just hasn't sort of crystallised for him since then. But as you say, he's
the
there
lap
now.
times have been there, the racing hasn't, but it certainly looks to be there now as he gets pushed a little bit wide out of Biondetti 1 and 2. He slots back in. He's got Ramadipa for company, Travis Borg, David Gonzalez as well.
And he is also, as I said before, one of the bigger guys, him and Bajosa, so they really need the slipstream, and it's still hard for them to pass out of the slipstream.
This group goes all the way back to Sullivan Mounsey in 17th now. Goodness gracious me.
3 abreast there, over the hill, into the braking zone. Who's going to be bravest? Up the inside is the number 7 of points leaver, Beñat Fernandez.
Christian Daniel looks behind him as to who's going to be sending it up the inside as he breaks down into turn 1. And I think it goes to show no one really wants to lead, Peter. What do you think? As we see Varga now back into 3rd place, having been punched down outside the top 10 earlier.
Well, yeah, I mean, Beñat says all you need to do, if you can't break away, is just stay near the front of the group. He said you don't want to be biffed up, people elbowing you at every corner. He said that was a problem in qualifying. Just stay near the front and try and stay out of trouble. And he's certainly near the front. Superb stuff.
Demonstrative of all this is Pugliese from the back of the grid is up there now into 9th and 8th position just before we saw this replay.
Yeah, so he's got the pace. We know he's got the pace. He was quick in qualifying. He's come off the back of the 1st and the 2nd in Barcelona. So let's see what he can do in these last few laps. We're only just over halfway through this.
Yeah, my voice is already tired, I can tell you that much. Pugliese then, he's into 8th position now, and Varga gets pushed wide by someone there, but fortunately kept it all upright, a good nudge, a bit of Rubbins racing. Cano into 4th position now then, so he's figuring out the racing biz.
Right, now Marulander is one of the smaller guys, so, you know, let's see if he can deny the others too much of a slipstream when they come to the start and finish straight this time on the number 27, the 15-year-old Colombian. I mean, grid position there, going from 19th to 1st. That's impressive to say the least. Okay, the 27 looks like he doesn't want to lead, does he? Marulander didn't want to lead down the straight there.
And it's David Gonzalez who does. Carlos Cano was sitting up at that point. Goodness me, that must be...
That was amazing.
Intense being in there right now.
I mean, he looked at both sides of him. He said, come on, I don't want to lead this. And he wants to pick up the slipstream, which he's done.
Oh, Varga and Pugliese getting elbows right at the top speed moment. Goodness gracious, that was a bit sketchy. Mike Hugh goes into the lead, but does he go wide? Yes, he does. Pretty wide.
Well wide.
Goodness
How
me.
many places is he going to lose there?
He
4,
gained
5?
He gained 3, but I think he then lost 4 again. Or
Yeah, that's right. That was superb, wasn't it? That was superb.
Travis Borg pushed down into 11th after all that.
And in the middle of the pack there, I saw the number 20, the Finn Katowiczl, the 15-year-old German. You know, he said, look, I just want to learn from this first race here. I'm coming from the middle of the pack and the grid after a penalty. He said, I want to learn from the first race and really do it in the second race when I'll have a better starting position. 27, that is Matteo Marulander, the Colombian. I just couldn't believe when he looked around. He didn't want to lead onto the start and finish straight. But it is the number 11 of David Gonzalez. The pole man run back in front again.
What are the rider coaches going to make of these antics, Peter?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, they accept what happened. They weren't impressed with qualifying because they just ruined it for each other. Nobody did anything in the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes. It was just a complete mess. David had set his time, and then just the last 5 or 6 minutes just mucking about. No one got anywhere.
You can see now, Beñat Fernandez, the way he's sitting up on the exit of that corner, yeah, it's the same sort of thing again. Just, does anyone really want to lead? He's trying to gauge sort of who's with him. Anyone going to come up the inside? It's Gonzalez still leading. Matteo Marilanda nearly there. Ogiwara going round the outside, railing the final turn. Coming onto the start and finish straight we go once again. A little bit more orderly this time. There before, Varga weaving all over the place. Needs to be careful with that. We had some ugly memories from there a couple of years back. And we don't need to see anything similar here today.
No, we had a word with the guys at the very opening of the weekend, and just so there's just none of that sort of stuff. Thank you very much. Right, there it is, the 85 of Kietzak Singapong, Mike Yu.
Super wide again, a completely wild line.
He's gone even further back. He's gone first to like 8th this time.
Christian Daniel into 3rd now, after being, what, 10th or something a lap ago.
Right, David Gonzalez has the advantage over Beñat Fernandez.
Ramadipa up there into the top 10 now as well. It looks like, from the camera angle, it looked like he was way further up. No, he's still in 9th. As we see Paul Agostinelli back in the pit lane, but absolutely distraught with his...
There's another day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right, they're looking back at Christian Daniel Jr. on the number 70, the American. Beñat Fernandez is your camera ship. And this climb here, where you've got to get a really good line, and then the drive out of it's so important to see who can lead on the brakes into this chicane section. It's David Gonzalez with the advantage over Beñat, then Christian Daniel.
Kratokville with the 20, causing me a little bit of confusion with him and Christian Daniel having similar helmet designs, as well as that Mike Yu going wide. Yeah, big moment into Corontayo there for the tie rider, but keeps it going just about. Oh, Kano just hits the side of him pretty much.
Yeah, that's the trouble when you go on a really bizarre line like that, you know, and then come back. It's things like that are going to happen. That could have been a very, very nasty moment.
Oh, Kratokville into 2nd place. The German rider will follow Christian Daniel. 70 leads from 20 onto the start and finish straight, and that moment for Mike Yu, that save he had there into Corontayo, well...
Yeah, nasty. But anyway, he's got away with it. Now, as I said, you know, Finn said he was going to take it easy and learn here. Well, he's learning right at the front. Fantastic stuff from the young German. There he is on the number 20. Around again, got to get a good drive up the hill here. Back in the middle there, about 7th place is David Gonzalez, the pole man.
Now it's a bit, it reminds me sort of that 3 kilometres to go thing in cycling, where they all start jostling for position. They're preparing for their run at the win, coming out of the final sector in the final corner, aren't they? So things going to get a little bit more intense now. You've got about a lap and a half left, and if you're not really at the front, I think you're going to struggle to get the win here. But this is Red Bull Rookies Cup, and I could well be surprised.
We always are. Right, and there Tibor Varga goes for the inside line. He's got on the back of his helmet is Sikla, which apparently is rock in Hungarian, so he thinks of himself as the Rock. Does number 47.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson or the geographical rock?
I think he's between a rock and a hard place or something anyway.
Well, yeah, he certainly will be in Rookies Cup on the final lap if he doesn't do something about it quick. As that was the moment for Singapong.
Yeah, and look, well, when he comes back across onto the track there.
And Kano's unsighted, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. You don't see, you know, you don't have the peripheral vision to see that, really. Yeah, anyway, thank goodness we got away with it.
Well, here we go. Biondetti 1 and 2. Beñat Fernandez then. He's like Thor. He's inevitable. He's there. 1st position, leading the way. As, it's 57 in the background's got an issue. I think that's Borelli. It is. Borelli, the other Italian that we've got here, has an issue with his bike and will be out of the running for the win. That's a real shame for him.
Half of the flaming field are on the green.
Got to be careful.
Yeah.
There's no one who's got track limits warning yet. But as they come across the line, wow, 5, 6, 7 abreast. Into San Donato we go. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Mike Yu again!
Christian Daniel, though. Christian Daniel has it, though. He's holding the superb line. There you
Brilliant.
go, Almeida, the track limits warning.
First one, apparently. Brilliant. Love it. Mike Hugh into second place. He finally nailed San Donato, how to brake as late as possible and not set himself off. And Travis Borg does go off into the gravel and to the back of this group.
Number 23, yes, right to the back, the Maltese 16-year-old. And he's got, what has he got? He's got a 2.5 laps to get back in this.
Goodness me, he has been sent way down the order with that one, hasn't he? What, yeah, 23rd now behind Archie Schmidt?
Right, so now it is the American, the number 70 of Christian Daniel Jr., the 17-year-old American with the advantage. You're looking back from Benyat Fernandez at the 85 of Singapong. Mike Hugh is his nickname.
So, Peter, this race has basically the entirety of the field in it now, in this leading pack. I mean, that is, yeah, that's not a quick race. That is, it will be who's going to play the game of chess quickest come the end of it.
Now, Benyat, one of the things that Benyat said, he said you can't have a plan on the last lap. He said, but going on to the last lap, there unfortunately is the 57 of Christian Borelli, the 16-year-old Italian, being pushed. And he'll be very glad that he gets another chance tomorrow. Right, so Benyat said, you know, you don't want to be leading onto the last lap, but you want to be able to pick up the slipstream to get to the front going up the hill as the last lap sort of starts.
Christian Daniel doesn't care, though. He is absolutely leathering it. Will he get swamped across the line or not? He is like a scolded cat. Off he goes. Benyat on the chase. Bahosa, second place of the championship. Third across the line is the number 69. They come down towards turn 1 again. Who will be leading in towards turn 1? It's actually going to be the 7 or the 70. Benyat Fernandez breaks as late as possible. Mike Hugh into third again. The tie rider knows exactly what he's doing now into turn 1. We are 2 laps to go, Peter.
Yes, and Bahosa there, you saw him with a great position going across the start-finish line. But as I said, he's one of the heavier guys, has to run the shorter gearing, and he's just running out of revs there when it comes to the end of the straight. So, you know, and he's not being able really to pass out of the slipstream. So it's a tough one for Cano and Bahosa and any other big guys. So there's the number 7. He's not too big. He's Benyat Fernandez, and he has the lead, but can he hang on to it from the number 70 of Christian Daniel Jr.?
Well, here we go then, up Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Another track limits warning. They're all coming in thick and fast now. One for car pushing, one for Dakigan as well, who is in this lead group, but in 21st, sorry.
Hopefully they'll run out of laps before they run out of track limit warnings.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a lap and a half to go.
It's actually all somewhat orderly at this point, Peter, but I think it's about to go off. Mike Hugh there, intentionally not making an overtaking manoeuvre.
And there's absolutely certain in my mind that Benyat Fernandez let Christian Daniel Jr. pass there. He didn't want to lead here, coming round to going on to the start-finish to start the penultimate lap.
Christian Daniel leads them through the final turn then. Ramadeepa from well down on the grid, 16th with his penalty, will be slotting into second or third. Christian Daniel runs it wide into the slipstream. He goes, and we begin the final lap.
But Benyat Fernandez is there. I think he's just about where he wanted to be there. He's in third fast with the other guys there. He'll get a good slipstream.
Wow,
wow.
Bahosa on the grass. That's not the line. Ryota Ogiwara to the inside. Mike Hugh towards the inside. He's going to lead. No, Mounsy's in second. Where's it come? Oh, my goodness. Riders down in the background. Gonzalez.
David Gonzalez, yes.
He's in the gravel. I'm not sure who else. I think it's
Sullivan Mounsey who has the lead.
Goodness
Incredible
me.
From nowhere.
Brilliant.
Nowhere.
Go on, Sully. Podium last. Oh, Mike Hugh on the gravel. Absolute speedway style. But it's Cratocville and Mounsey leading the way out of nowhere. It's where is Bahosa gone? He's in 8th. What about number 7? It's
Benyat Fernandez.
He's third. Right. Tibblewagen was the one who crashed. Oh, disaster for him.
Yeah, and the pole man went on the dirt. He's not going to get anything either, but it is Sullivan Mounsey with the advantage. But can he hang on to it? Up the inside goes the number 7 of Benyat Fernandez to take second place.
I will love to watch this back because, yeah, he's been there. It's the whole leading group. But where did Sullivan Mounsey come? Oh, dear! dearie me, we got a big crash there. Fortunately, no one struck him, but I think, Peter, that might have been Bahosa, but I'm not too sure. He had the pink helmet. It was Bahosa. It was Bahosa. Goodness me.
But
so
it's Sullivan Mounsey that leads from Beñat Fernandez. Sullivan Mounsey, who was denied second place, he was on the podium in Le Mans, but this could be his first win.
Ogiwara third, Peter. Ogiwara in third. Kratokville fourth. Goodness me.
Who can be brave at this last right-hander, the long dropping right-hander, and then hang on for the run for the line? Beñat Fernandez comes around the outside. Up the inside is the 97 of Ryoto Ogiwara.
Oh, Mounsey and Kratokville.
Oh, and he just
getting very close indeed.
Mounsey slides
It's
there,
gonna be
loses the
Beñat.
drive.
Is it going to be
Fernandez,
Beñat?
but can Ogiwara get out of the slipstream?
No.
He's going to drive. It's going to be a photo
Oh, it
finish.
is.
Ogiwara!
He's done it.
Ogiwara who has it. The Japanese wins.
Brilliant. Absolutely
Beñat
brilliant.
Fernandez, Finn, and then Sullivan fourth. Well, my goodness gracious me.
Well, that's as dramatic as it gets, but Ryoto Ogiwara, first podium last time out in Le Mans, race one, second place, race one, Mugello, first position. That's how it's done. Brilliant stuff from him. A terrifying final lap, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we need something a bit more calm tomorrow, but goodness gracious me. And Yaroslav Karpushin came home fifth after asking where he's been so far this year. Well, he's turned up. Pugliese from the back of the grid, sixth position. Wow, oh wow.
Well, my goodness gracious me. That was so exciting, was it? As you say, just a touch over exciting. Actually, we don't want to see.
Yeah, it was. That was. The rookies need a word tonight, I think, don't they? Hey, calm it down.
But what's he going to do? Because they're coming down the start and finish straight there. They're fan out. They're 8-10 abreast.
Yeah.
But it's not that they're weaving all over the place or anything.
No.
They're not doing anything silly. They're just racing.
But the proof in the pudding is who in those last laps was just absolutely leathering it and didn't faff around coming to the final lap. Beñat Fernandez, Ryoto Ogiwara, Sullivan Mounsey, they all just kept it pinned.
Yeah, that's right.
And look what happened. No one was touching them, the top four, come the line.
And look, that's what I mean.
This is what happened at turn one.
8 to 10 abreast there.
Yeah.
And it's all on the brakes.
This is...
yeah, there's the Sullivan Mounsey on the four on the outside there.
Marulanda got squeezed.
1, 2,
Gonzalez.
3, 4, 5. But, yeah, well, that's... but... Yeah, you know, nobody's doing anything. That's not stupid riding. That is just 5, 6 guys on identical machinery, identical tyres,
But you know what I think back to, Peter? Do you remember when Marco Morelli in Assen just went, stuff the lot of you, catch me if you can, and he won it? That's what you want to see, and that's what the thing is, team managers in this paddock want to see from their riders, don't they,
Well, yeah, they do. For Jose, it's such a shame for him to miss out on the points there, because it's going to be hard to catch Beñat the way things are going. But yeah, I don't really want to criticise. Obviously people made mistakes and people fell off, and that's what you're to avoid. But other than that, it wasn't stupidity. It wasn't people weaving all over the track very much at all. That was sort of 5 or 6 guys wanting the same bit of road.
Tell you what though, I'm gonna absolutely big him up right now, even though he didn't get the win. There's one rider throughout that who just goes, no, I'm having it. And that's Beñat Fernandez.
Yeah.
He was up there the entirety of the last 5 laps. Not sort of hesitant like some of the others. Well, no, most of the others were. Oh, no, I don't want to lead. No, I don't want to lead. No, he's there like, I'm second or third every time.
Yeah.
I'm staying in second, etc. And look where it got him. Second. Brilliant, you want people who just get after it.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
So, after all that, Kermantinez went down but rejoined the race, the Venezuelan. Kratokville, though, third round, first podium. Well done, Finn.
And he's been doing well all year. He's just been very intelligent about it. It's a big step up for him to come into the Rookies' Cup, but he is doing it absolutely superbly. There's Ogiwara, winner.
I do remember
first look at Mugello.
A certain Taio Furusato won in very similar fashion, actually, on his debut in Rookies' Cup in 2021.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
And when
Take
are
a
we
deep
doing it all
breath,
again
really.
tomorrow morning?
Well, yeah,
It's not
kind
tomorrow
of are.
evening.
It's a very early morning start, you know. Yes, that's right.
Exhausting. But that's Rookies Cup for you, everybody, ladies and gents. Very, very exciting indeed.
I think somebody can be miffed. Christian Daniel Jr., 12th.
Yes, but he did make the choice of not being in those leading groups. Coming up to the last lap, he slotted back into about 6th, you know, and then you're in the lap of the gods come at turn 1, come the last lap, as we saw.
And Singapore, you know, 13th, he was
Same for him.
He was at the front, you know. Galen Planck, you know, fastest in both pre-practices, on the front row of the grid, 15th. Oh.
Well then, we will be hearing from our third place finisher, Finn Kratokville. The number 20 gets his first Rookies Cup podium. He must be absolutely delighted with that. He is down, as I speak very slowly, in Parc Fermé with Dominica. Take it away.
Finn, huge congratulations, your first ever podium in the Red Bull Rookies Cup in your first rookie season. Well, tell us what happened in the last lap. How did you manage to do that?
Well, I'm so fucking happy. It was a crazy race. All the guys fighting, and well, I managed quite well the last corner, the last laps, and now I'm here where we dreamed about and where we worked hard for. And yes, I want to say thank you to all the guys supporting me at home, to my sponsors, to my family, to my grandfather Fritz, to my mother, to my dad, all of them. And yes, also thank you to my trainer, and we will work hard to step up again. Thank you.
When you crossed the finish line, what were you thinking?
Finally, the hard work pays off.
Thank you so much. Well done.
And of course, you know, he dominated the Northern Talent Cup with 12 wins out of 14 races last year. So that's close. That's close.
Yeah, very, very close. Well done, that lad there. Really, really good. Well, second place then. He is inevitable. You can throw whatever at him, and somehow he still, most of the time, ends up in Parc Fermé. It is Beñat Fernandez, series leader, extending his lead here today. Take it away, Dominica.
Beñat, congratulations. Incredibly tough race. Very warm conditions and huge battle with such a big group. Is there anything you could have done better?
Honestly, I don't think so, because all of them just went crazy into the first turn. But yeah, I could not change anything, because on the last corner also I saw that I got contact with Ogiwara, and I said, okay, I can make a gap, but then he catch me before the finish line, and it was all I could do. So yeah, I'm very happy to be second, because as you said, the weather was not so cool, and we were sledding a lot. So yeah, it was a difficult and hot race, and I'm very happy to be on the podium.
And these points give you a big advantage for the future?
I don't know how points I have ahead, but it's important to be always on top positions and just finish all the races on the front. So let's see, whatever. This is a lottery, so let's see on tomorrow's race.
Thanks, Beñat.
That's great. And of course, he picked up a third in race 2 here last year, so he knows his way around Mugello. Look at that, great, right up the inside there on the number 7, late on the brakes. And there's the number 70 of Christian Daniel Jr.
Looking around, that time, all right, permissible, but you know how much I hate riders looking around behind them, Peter. Keep your eyes forward, get after it.
Yeah.
Ryota Ogiwara, though, a winner in Red Bull Rookies Cup. How does he feel about that one? Dominica.
Ryota, huge congratulations. I'm extremely impressed with your performance in your first rookie season. How happy are you feeling right now?
Yeah, it's crazy happy about this win. Today was super crazy race. Maybe 20 rider in the first group. It's crazy. Then in the beginning, I back to 12, 13, like something. Then yeah, final lap, I passed few rider in turn 1. Then also final corner, I passed Sullivan. Yeah, then little bit contact with Beñat, but it's no problem. I full gas. but I said tranquilo, tranquilo, calm down, calm down. Yeah, I use slipstream, and finally, yeah, overtake Benya. It's good race, but crazy race. I'm super happy. Thanks to Lucas Cup staff and my family and my girlfriend. Thank you.
And how confident do you feel for tomorrow's race?
Yeah, for sure tomorrow also like big group. That's why, yeah, let's focus. Calm down, stay calm. Then, yeah, let's see tomorrow.
Well done, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much, as you said, probably the thing to learn is what you were saying, is to stay at the front, isn't it?
Look, I mean, who are the four that just absolutely went for it?
Yeah.
You know, I know they got fortunate with what happened at turn 1 and things like this, but particularly Benyat Fernandez. I mean, look at it. Like, Benyat wanted to lead onto the start and finish straight. That is someone who is just eyes forward. No, I'm doing my thing. That's why he's now so far out in front in the championship. You know, don't worry about anybody else. Don't look around you. Don't go, oh, I was slotting to 6th or 7th or 8th coming onto the final lap. No, get after it. Yeah. Like, there's a finish line. Go for it. It's a motorbike race, you know. So, you know, I think we've got the absolute most deserving top 4 in that race, because they are ultimately the ones that went, stuffed a lot of you, I'm having it, you know. Those aren't the final results, actually. They're entirely wrong. So, yeah, forget that. Don't bother watching this next minute, because that is just completely wrong.
Anyway, as you say, I'm sure the guys are going to relive the race. They're going to go through everything. You're going to re-watch it. But as you say, that's the key point to learn, isn't it? You can't, there's no particular tactics apart from stay near the front, and when it comes to the crunch, go for it. You've got to be in front when it counts. And you know, Benyat Fernandez did everything he said. I mean, again, going back to our discussion at lunchtime, he said, I'm not worried if I lead onto the start and finish. He said, you know, that's all I can do. What happens after that, there's, you know,
my man.
Yeah, that's right. He says, I'm gonna go for it to lead onto the start and finish at the end, and we'll see what happens. You know, and he nearly got away with it, didn't he? He nearly got away
close.
With it.
I mean, the gap was 0.074 at the line, and it does though, however, these rider standings thankfully are correct, because Ogiwara is now into 2nd position. Bahosa pushed down to 3rd, unfortunately. Ramadipa 4th, Mounsey in 5th place. So this is absolutely brilliant for those riders. You know, apart from Benyat, there are no real clear other favourites. It's all a bit of a lottery at the moment.
Well, that's right. There might be favourites, you know, with the skills, but on the points, he's the man, isn't he? Right. So on to the podium now. There is Finn. There is Benyat Fernandez. He takes 2nd place, and our winner, Ryoto Ogiwara. And we've got a very special guest going to award the trophies today, because you know, it's an ex-rookie, and there he is. That is Maximo Chiesa, of course. He won his first Grand Prix in Mugello last year here over fellow ex-rookie Alvaro Carpe, and now has 7 GPs. He's won the last 3 Moto3 GPs in a row. He won 2 of his Rookies Cup wins were here at Mugello, but interestingly, he only won in 3 years. He won 7 Rookies Cup races, and he's already won 7 GPs. So he's taken an incredible step forward.
Yeah, he's absolutely the boy right now, isn't he? Let's hear, though, the Japanese national anthem for the first time this year.
Fantastic. And just a quick look down, I think that is 10 different nationalities in the first 10 of the Rookies Cup result here, as it was in qualifying actually, 10 different nationalities in the top 10. But that's the end of the race 1 here at Mugello, and we look forward to race 2 tomorrow morning early, with the show starting at 8:35. All races on Red Bull TV, Facebook and YouTube, Red Bull Motorsports. But until then, it's goodbye from Matt Dunn and myself, Peter Clifford.
These are the highlights from Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup at Mugello Race 1, and it was an all-out brawl with basically all riders participating on the grid, participating all the way to the line. Your eventual winner, though, Ryota Ogiwara, got the start of his life down into turn 1, but was battling pole position rider David Gonzalez for the next several corners. Thai rider Kiatasak Singapong was an ever-present feature, but this was just about as tame as it got. Beñat Fernandez made his way towards the front, and we saw an unfortunate crash out from Luca Agostinelli, nearly saving that crash. As we got in towards the final laps, it got more than a bit too chaotic, with the likes of David Gonzalez, Fernando Bajosa going down and crashing out of the nearby points contention. Across the line they came, and it was Ryota Ogiwara keeping it straight line all the way to the finish flag, taking win from Beñat Fernandez.